All right, hey y'all, what's up? I just got out of the bail hearing. I don't know if it's too loud because there's a chopper right above me. It's also very windy, but that bail hearing, let me get to a little corner. That bail hearing was intense. So the judge came out and he didn't even have to wait any time. He got right to it, and immediately in like the first couple of seconds that he started talking, he was like some bail denied. All right, now leading up to him saying that the bail was going to be denied, it was a different situation in the courtroom. So yesterday when we were in the court, when I talked to you guys and I said how, the defense looked worried and they were pacing around, today they were happy, they were cheerful, they were like, hugging each other, giving each other handshakes. They were extremely happy. When the family started to come inside the courtroom, they were happy. Christian, he walked in first, okay? So Christian, out of the family, Christian walked in first. He came in, he sat down with his girlfriend, Raven. He put his arm around her. They're in good spirits. Then in comes the twins and their sister Chance. They come sit down. Mama Combs comes in. The sons come in. They're smiling, laughing. They're having a very cheerful time, okay? Everybody was in good spirits. Now, yesterday when the defense were prancing around and looking worried, today the prosecution kind of had that look of being upset. The prosecution was sitting in the first row. They had their hands crossed. They were visibly mad. Diddy, they brought him from the back. Now, he was wearing some yellow, like Bill Cosby type sweater. And so they brought him from the back. He walked out. He was extremely happy. And he goes up to his attorney. He goes up to Brian Steele. He gives Brian Steele a hug. Brian Steele's happy, cheerful, and he starts hugging his counsel. He looked back at his family, and then they were basically in good spirits. Now, all of his family, they were laughing, like in good spirits and everything like that. So when the judge came out, it was like the air got sucked out of the room. Okay, if y'all could have seen that on TV, that was a sight to see. From people to be super cheery and super happy, and right before the judge got in, they were in good spirits. As soon as the judge, I forget the first two things he said, but he was like, some, bail denied. And I was like, woo, hold on. And immediately when he said the bail was denied, everybody's face just dropped. Like everybody started to look like, Diddy started to put his head down, and it was similar from yesterday where he was putting his head down. Then the judge went on to further say, he said he got found guilty of count 3 and count 5. As it pertains to count 3, he got found guilty for Cassie when it came to the transporting in the Mann Act. And then he says, as it pertains to count 5, he was found guilty for Jane. And for those reasons, blah, 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 the bail is going to be denied. So after he said that, then all of his counsel was looking like, putting their head down, looking upset. The government, at first, they didn't have anything to say. They were happy with that. The judge was like, anything further from the government? The government was like, nah, nothing further. So then he said, anything further from Agnifilo. So when he went and asked the defense, did he have anything to say? Because one of the reasons, too, the judge said that he denied the bail was because what they put in the proposal was something along the lines of like a personal thing. And I think it had to do with like his family, like, you know what I mean? I don't know exactly what they wrote, but the judge was like, you put in something for personal, and that's not grounds for, or a circumstance to consider for him to get out. So Agnifilo said, well, I've been preparing for this all day. It seems like you're pretty stern on your ruling. and he was kind of looking to see if the judge gave him any glimmer of hope to try to, you know, give him the alley-oop. And so once the judge didn't stop him from talking, he went on and on to talk about different cases, different law, that it was the reverse situation where the guy was kind of like pimping somebody and they were getting like millions of dollars, and he was saying how this is an unusual case. And then once he talked about all of the different cases of different people who were actually making money from the Mann Act and making upwards of $1 million, then he went to talk about a sitting governor, how I forget, some governor in 2008 got charged with, or he didn't even get charged, but he was using, I guess, prostitutes or whatever, and he didn't even get charged. So they started talking about how, you know, the sitting governor, he didn't even get charged for the similar thing that Diddy got charged with or whatever like that. And then after he said that, then he said, I don't, you know, I'm looking for a glimmer of hope for the judge. Like he kept saying, like, I'm looking for, you know, a glimmer of hope, you know, basically. So the judge didn't say nothing, so he kept going. So once he kept going, then he started talking about, you know, I don't want to pull on nobody heartstrings, but the twins, like some of his kids, they don't have a parent and he's their only parent. And then he's like, if you look back, you know, they don't have their mom and he's their only parent, and this and that. So he does this full-on plea to the judge to try to get a glimmer of hope. And I don't know if it started to look like the judge was about to consider it. Then the prosecution got up and they came up swinging. Okay, now again, when the judge first asked the prosecution if they had anything to say, they were like, you know, nah, we good. But once he started doing that big old dissertation about how you know, and he said, Agnifilo also said that, and I'm gonna read the transcripts for you guys at another time. I'm not gonna be doing later because your girl got things to do. But child, I'm gonna be busy. But anyways, get into it. No, I'm just kidding. But okay, so oh, and also what Agnifilo said was, he said that the most recent instance of violence was with Jane, and he said that was self-defense. He was like, Your Honor, you know the facts. He said that you know the facts of the case, and you know that that was self-defense, and she kind of, you know, put her hands on him and things like that. And so then when the prosecution when the prosecution got up, like I said, she came in swinging. She came in with the gut punch. She said, Your Honor, there is nothing exceptional, because I think Agnifilo must have said that Diddy was exceptional or something. I gotta read y'all the transcript. But she got up there and then she said, there is nothing exceptional about him but his wealth. He is brazen, he is violent, and what he did to Jane was she was like, he slapped her times, and he did this, and he knocked her to the ground, and he blah 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 blah, and he was about to do another freak off with her right before. And child, she came in swinging, honey. She came in swinging. She said he's a danger to the society and all kind of stuff. Okay, again, I have to go through the transcripts. But then after Agnifilo went back up, he started dissing the prosecution. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. They look like, you know what I'm saying, if it came down to a rumble, child, it would have been some fun. But all in all, he said that the basis that the judge used to deny his bail was because he said that they conceded that he was violent. So in their closing arguments, they said that we concede to the domestic violence. We agree that he said if this was charged as a domestic violence case, then they would have never been in this situation because Diddy would have pled guilty. And the judge used their words against them and said that they told the court that Diddy is a violent man, and because he is a violent man, they basically, in summary, said that he's a danger to society. And the reason why we know that he's a danger to society is because his own defense said he's a danger. And they were basically like, you guys said that he's dangerous. You guys said that he was violent. You guys conceded that at the London hotel, he whooped Cassie's tail. Now, he didn't say whoop Cassie's tail, but basically, that's what he was saying. Like, you knew, I mean, you guys are the ones that told us that he's violent. So when y'all done told us he's violent, why would we let him out to the community in that fashion? So the judge basically used his own closing arguments against him to say, y'all said he's violent, so for that reason, he's a danger, and we're gonna keep him in jail. Now, another thing that they calculated, and they wanted to calculate how much time he can be sentenced. So the defense calculated their sentencing guideline of what they think that this would amount to, and the prosecution had their sentencing guideline of what they felt like this was amounting to. The defense says that they calculate his sentence somewhere between 21 to 23 months, and then the prosecution said that they basically they calculate his sentence to be, hey Nancy, they calculate his sentence to be 53 months to 6, whatever I read to you guys earlier, it was like 53 months was the minimum, 53 to 65 or 60 something months. So y'all know it's 12 months in a year, child, so add that up times however. So that's what, and so then the judge said that they can have sentencing on October 5th or 8th, one of those, October 5th. And then Agnifilo said that he thinks that they want to expedite the sentencing. So instead of having his sentencing in October, they're going to expedite it a lot sooner so that he can get sentenced a lot quicker. And because, you know, he said that the kids submitted letters, okay? So not only did Cassie's side submit letters to keep him, but his kids also submitted letters as well to get him out. And so Agnifilo said when it comes to sentencing, a big part of his argument is going to be a lot of the different guys who were pimps that they made money off of it, and then how his children are going to be affected because he's their only parent for you know, many of them, because their mother passed away. And so they're going to make a conference on July 8th. I think it was July 8th. I don't have my notes in front of me. I'm just winging it off the top of my head. I'll give you guys the exact information at a later date. But he said that they're going to do like a conference so that they can find out what expedited schedule that they're going to do the sentencing. So instead of October 8th, October 5th or whatever the date was, they're gonna bump it up to a lot sooner. So that's what happened. The government was like, he's brazen, he's this, that. She was really going there with him, and all while she was talking, his kids was basically sinking down, you know, holding their head down. Diddy was like constantly writing notes. So all while Agnifilo was talking, he was writing notes, passing them, writing notes, passing them. Different attorneys was writing notes, and every time they're giving him different talking points to argue against keeping him behind bars. And he talked about all of these different reasons why they should let him out. And the judge said, what you say, government? What y'all think about that? Okay, we're gonna keep him in. Denied. It was intense in there, okay? It was intense, and you can hear, like, you know, people reacting in real time, and they were just like, what? Like, everybody was shocked that he wasn't getting out, because in their mind, they already made up that he was a free man after that. So, you know, somebody said they could, write him a letter or visit him, child. It's looking like it. So I don't know what that means. I wish that they had this freaking because it was like you see somebody laughing and in deep thought and they like all, and then as soon as he said bail denied, they was like it was like night and day, the mood from being chipper, happy, you know what I'm saying, having a good time, to bail denied. And then everybody in the family was like stunned. Okay. And then when the judge said bail denied, then you seen the prosecution kind of loosen up a bit. They kind of loosened up. But I can't wait to get the transcripts of what Comey said, because she was going in, okay? And she had conviction in her voice, like she was going off. Like, she wasn't yelling or arguing in that way, but she was, you know what I'm saying? She had that serious tone, like, this is violent. He is da-da-da-da-da. He is woo-doo-doo-woo. He is nothing exceptional about him. Da-da-da-da-da. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot. And so that made Agnifilo upset, because he started throwing shots right back. Okay, and then he said, this is what Agnifilo said. He said, and obviously I'm just going off the top, but he said something to the effect of, oh, well, good thing that we have a jury, instead of, going off of people like Miss Comey or whatever like that. He said, so he threw a shot right back at her. Well, like, good thing we have a jury instead of going off of her word. It was going there, okay? It was definitely going there. But I gotta run, y'all. Shout out to all of y'all on here. I appreciate y'all so much. I don't want to lose my voice. I feel like I need to run and get some tea, because I got some serious business later. Okay, so I want to also, before I go, I want to thank all of you guys for encouraging me to stay. I really, if y'all don't understand, I really wanted to go home, and it was definitely in my purpose to stay. Okay, it was definitely meant for me to stay. Okay, I am elated. I am so happy for all of you guys who genuinely, not the people who, you know what I'm saying, don't rock with me, because it's an acquired taste over here. You said let you see my fit. I don't know if y'all can really see the fit like that, but y'all know it's an acquired taste over here. So I just want to thank the people that genuinely rock with me, because it was all of the outpouring of you guys. Y'all were writing me in my DM. Y'all were calling me on Instagram. People was blowing up my phone and like, Neek, no, stay. And I just want to thank y'all, because, child, baby, honey, what? But okay, so this is, nothing crazy with the fit, nothing too crazy with the fit. But yeah, so I just wanted to do a special thank you to you guys, and an ultimate thank you to my mother. Okay, my mama has been holding it down. She has been helping me tremendously. My aunties, my cousins, my freaking friends have all been encouraging me to stay in my purpose, pouring into me. My best friend Amir, oh my God, I be talking to Amir. He be talking me off the ledge, child. And all of you guys, Art, my mama, my cousins, my auntie. I don't want to start single. I got a whole lot of, they all have helped. My godmama, all of them have been so instrumental in me making this trip and helping me along. They like, girl, I know New York is expensive, to helping me out with my daughter, helping me out to stay here. So I just want to thank y'all for real, because they really came through for me. Okay, they really came through for me to make this possible, because there was so much to where I'm like, child, when I say I've never been away from my daughter this long before, I'm telling y'all, like, I've never been away from my daughter this long before. And so they all were just pouring into me like, Neek, stay on your purpose. Because I would start to get self-doubt, and you start to be like, well, I'm not really doing that good with my coverage, or, you know, people not really watching. But the people who watch, you know what I mean? It only takes one person to watch and appreciate what you do to elevate to the next level. So I'm just so happy that I stayed. I'm so happy that y'all talked me into staying. I'm so happy that I bet on myself, okay? Because coming out here, I had to bet on myself still, even though there was doubt, and I was like, you know, I don't know, da, 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 da. I still took a risk, okay? And when I told the lady on that interview, and I said, girl, we charge them cards and worry about it later, we charge them cards. So, you know, I walked out on faith, and I feel like, you know, what I got going on today has definitely made the whole thing worth it. So I just wanted to say that real quick. The next time I see y'all, I will probably be at, you know, like Armand used to say, at a secret location. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, I don't want to give it up. I don't want to give it up. If y'all know, if you know, if you caught on, if you know, you know. But anyways, let me go, because I gotta figure out, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go. Oh, I gotta go. Thank you so much for, no, I don't got a date, girl. No, 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 no. This ain't no date. Not with no man, child. This is me walking in my purpose. That's it. ain't no date, child. This is me walking in my purpose, period. I know you didn't hear me give that speech and you thought that was about me going with a man. Oh no, honey. You wanna say hi real quick? Oh, they're doing a press conference? Oh, I don't got time to wait. Just say hi real quick.
What's up, people? This was a roller coaster, but by the time that, what's his name, Mark got nasty and said, you're the reason that I'm glad we have a jury, I knew the judge was not playing with them at that point, because the judge likes for the defense and the prosecution to get along. As soon as he said that's not coming, it was a wrap. What, didn't you think that the bail was ready?
I thought that was crazy. Well, tell them, okay, so did you feel like it was intense once they start to swing, or tell them about like when Comey came up after Mark's long plea to the court?
First, can I curse?
Go ahead.
The plea to the court was bullshit. Everybody knew it. Every other word out of his mouth was stutter. He was stuttering the entire time. I was next to who were laughing. It was laughable. Steele or Nicole Westmoreland on that, because it was bullshit. And the fact that you said that this girl getting beat was self-defense was crazy. That's what pissed Comey off.
Yeah, she got mad. She was heated.
She said, you think it is self-defense that he broke down 3 doors chasing her and then slapped her 3 times in the shower until she passed out, but that was self-defense. This is not, it got nasty, but it didn't matter because he's still in jail.
Right. Well, thank you. Have a good one. I'll see you on the other side.
Summer camp is over.
Summer camp is officially over. But all right, y'all, I gotta go. I gotta get some tea because I gotta preserve my voice. I'm not gonna talk no more until it's time for me to talk again. All right.